When Banjo was announced for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, there was a cry of joy heard around the world. Rare, a company that has been a large part of Nintendo's history, had finally made their way into Smash Bros. After almost 20 years. And while others were celebrating, it got me thinking, where would we be in terms of characters if Rare never left Nintendo's side? It'd be a given that Banjo would have been here, but there's more to Rare than just Banjo. In particular, the first thing that comes to mind for me is Killer Instinct, and with that is Fulgore, the arguable flagship character of the franchise. In another time and place, Fulgore is probably the first fighting game-based character to make it into Smash Bros., as Killer Instinct was always shown off as Nintendo's exclusive fighter back in the day. And I think that we're at a point where the more fighting game characters we put in the Smash Bros., the better an experience the game becomes, especially after the success of Terry Bogard. So, after covering the likes of Heihachi Mishima from Tekken and Soul Bad Guy from Guilty Gear, we've come to a franchise with historical ties to Nintendo and one hell of a cast to pick from. This is Fulgore, the world's first artificial soldier for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
Killer Instinct.
Fulgore is a super heavyweight bruiser whose main draw as a character is his incredible damage potential, as is to be expected of a character from Killer Instinct. When Fulgore is running at full power, there's few characters out there that can actually stand toe-to-toe with him, but his heavy reliance on resources and susceptibility to being comboed himself make him a character that requires a level head and a strong neutral game. On top of that, Fulgore's true potential can only be realized when he's on the ground, as the full-blown KI-length combos can only be performed on the ground, although special canceling in the air is still a possibility as it is with Ryu, Ken, and Terry. Fulgore is a large humanoid character, standing around the same size if not a little taller than Captain Falcon. Weighing in at 550 pounds of metal and terror, this robotic predator stands as one of the heaviest characters in the game, being nearly on par with the two top heavyweights King Dedede and Donkey Kong. In terms of mobility options, Fulgore has the basic 2 jumps package, lacking any extra forms of mobility such as a wall jump or a crawl. Fulgore's standard walk, jump, and run animations are based on the same animations from Killer Instinct, all while using Plasma Port for his roll and spot dodge. Fulgore, much like the fighting game characters of other franchises, is designed with faith to his home franchise as a top priority, and as a result, this gimmick is simply titled Killer Instinct. The original Killer Instinct plays on a 6-button layout, much like that of Street Fighter, so a lot of Fulgore's gimmick is shared with the likes of Ryu and Ken. Firstly, all of Fulgore's specials have different levels of strength, all of which are dependent on how you input the attack. However, unlike Ryu and Ken, there's a set order to each move's strength level. For the light input, you input the move like you would normally, which is a direction followed by the B button. However, for the medium and heavy input, you must input the actual command input, with input plus B being medium and input plus A being heavy. The reason this is specifically laid out for Fulgore is because of how important each version of a special is when performing a combo, and it will prevent accidental inputs when going for combo extenders or combo enders. Worried about inputting the move in the wrong direction? Don't worry, for like Ryu, Ken, and Terry, Fulgore will always face his opponent straight on, much like he does in Killer Instinct. Also like Ryu, Ken, and Terry, Fulgore can special cancel his normals, which is absolutely necessary for Fulgore to tap into his true destructive nature as a character. Next, each character in Killer Instinct came equipped with a secondary bar known as the Shadow Meter. All except for Fulgore, who brings his own unique spin on the Shadow Meter to Smash Bros., the Reactor Gauge. Fulgore is powered by a nuclear reactor, and this reactor gauge is to show how much power Fulgore has on demand. In Killer Instinct, this is a 10-piece meter, and this carries over to Smash Bros. As well. The reactor gauge has a meter above it, and it will naturally fill over time. Each time the meter fills up, a pip on the reactor gauge activates. This is all passive, although attacking opponents will make the gauge fill up faster, while using some energy-based attacks will make it fill up slower than normal. After gaining a certain amount of charge in his reactor gauge, Fulgore's roll distance and recovery will improve drastically, along with an overall increase to mobility and running speed when the gauge is full. That's not all Fulgore gains access to when his reactor gauge is at max charge, for he also gains access to an incredibly destructive attack in the form of Devastation Beam, a massive red beam of energy that is released from Fulgore's chest. This is, by far, his most iconic attack from Killer Instinct, and being hit by this thing would more than likely be like being hit by a fully charged critical hit forward smash from Hero when you're at 70% damage. In short, it's insanely strong, but it's a single-use attack per reactor gauge, and using it will sacrifice your mobility buffs. It is the ultimate trade of speed for power. Lastly, there's the part of Fulgore's character that is the most iconic part of Killer Instinct: his combo potential. In Killer Instinct, combos start from an opener, which can either be a regular, normal, or a special move, which will lead into a string of physical attacks, known as autos. After performing this auto string, it's the player's job to put in a combo extending special, which will lead to another string of physical attacks. Once the combo reaches its climax, the player must then input a combo ender before the combo is dropped via blowout, which is usually a heavy input of certain specials, or simply inputting specific special moves that are designed to end combos, like Plasma Slice. In Smash Bros., this works mostly the same, with certain specials acting as combo starters and his autos being done by inputting one of 3 different tilt directions, with forward tilt being his light auto combo, up tilt being a medium auto combo, and down tilt being a heavy auto combo. After finishing the auto combo, the player must input a combo extending special, then followed by another auto combo. At the end of the day, it's simply the same system, but on a more simplified button layout. When performing a combo, a bar will appear above Fulgore's percent bar, this bar filling up the more the player combos their opponent. If the bar is maxed out and the player fails to finish their combo properly, their opponent will flip out and they'll be left wide open to incoming damage. However, in Killer Instinct, should the player fail to finish their combo properly or get off a combo without a big damage ender, your opponent will accumulate what's known as potential damage. In Killer Instinct, it's shown by a white chunk over the health bar of your opponent, while in Smash Bros., it's shown as a glowing white percentage that will slowly tick down / recover over time. If you manage to get off a massive combo ender before the potential damage disappears, the enemy will instantly be thrust up to said damage percentile before having the damage of the ender tacked on. While this is a lot to take in at once, there's still more to this, as the reactor gauge can be used for more than the Devastation Beam, as there's also shadow attacks. These specials, which can be performed by inputting a directional input while inputting A and B at the same time, are empowered versions of Fulgore's specials, and on top of being much stronger than their normal input, shadow specials don't make the combo bar increase. Shadow moves are mainly a way to take your resources and pour on some extra damage to your combos, although it's still very possible that your combo could be dropped if you get too reckless. All of this makes up the collective chaos of Killer Instinct, and this doesn't only help Fulgore stand out amongst the cast of Smash Bros., but also helps Killer Instinct stand on its own amongst a huge variety of fighting games out there. Also, it should be stated that as destructive as Fulgore's combo potential is, all of it is solely based on ground game, and if used on an airborne opponent, they will fall and or flip out of said combo. Now that you know what to expect from Fulgore's insane potential as a character, let's talk about his normals. Fulgore's normals are, like his appearance, based on Killer Instinct 2013, and as a result, his main weapons are the energy blades on his arms, as well as powerful kicks backed up by the jets installed in his legs. Fulgore's standard jab is a mix of buttons he can use in KI, taking the same path as Ryu and Terry, namely his light punch, light kick, and heavy punch. While these don't normally flow into each other in Killer Instinct, Ryu's buttons also don't flow into each other in Street Fighter, so I think it's fine. Both forward tilt and down tilt are based on his standing and crouching medium kick respectively. These are commonly used as Fulgore's openers in KI, and it'd only be fitting that Fulgore have access to them in Smash Bros. Up tilt, however, is based on the close range hit of his standing medium punch, which can also be used as an opener. Dash attack is Gravity Strike, a command normal that hits twice and deals decent damage. His get up attack is a spinning version of his crouching medium kick, and his ledge attack is based on his crouching medium punch. Fulgore's smash attacks are based on his heavy attacks, namely his heavy punch and heavy kick. Forward smash is his standing heavy kick, which will push Fulgore forward and launch opponents with heavy force. This jet-propelled kick is like Fulgore's version of Judan Sokotogeri, Ryu's forward smash. Up smash is based on Fulgore's crouching heavy punch, in which he'll perform a rising uppercut to launch the opponent upwards, while his down smash is based on his crouching heavy kick, a single-sided attack that will deal heavy damage, both percent-wise and shield damage-wise. Fulgore's aerials are all based on his jumping attacks, with neutral air being based on his jumping light kick, forward air being based on his jumping medium kick, up air being based on his jumping medium punch, back air being a reversed version of his jumping heavy kick, while down air is based on his jumping heavy punch and acts as a meteor smash. Fulgore's grab is a standard grab animation, in which he'll grab with the arm farthest from the camera. As for his throws, Fulgore has a unique attribute in the fact that all of his throws start with the same animation, which is skewering the opponent with his plasma blades, this allowing for interesting mix-up potential. For his forward throw, he'll toss his opponent forward after skewering them, while his back throw will have him turn around before bringing his arm down in an arcing motion, slamming the opponent into the ground behind him. Since Fulgore lacks an up throw and a down throw in Killer Instinct, these had to be improvised, with his down throw having him throw the opponent down in front of him before stepping on them, much like he does with his close standing medium kick. As for his up throw, Fulgore will release an energy bolt from his plasma blades to launch the opponent upwards, this throw being visually similar to Samus's up throw. Fulgore's special moves are his 4 main specials from Killer Instinct, all of which play an important part in his overall game plan. Standard special is Energy Bolt, a standard fireball projectile that can be launched at 2 different speeds depending on how hard you push the B button, much like Terry's Power Wave. If you have pips active in your reactor gauge, you can push the B button up to 2 more times in succession to launch 2 extra projectiles, each extra projectile costing a pip each. When you have 4 pips active in your reactor gauge and you push both A and B simultaneously, you can launch a Shadow Energy Bolt, a huge version of Energy Bolt that hits 5 times. This projectile eats all other fireball projectiles in the game, the only thing that can beat it out being beams. When Fulgore's reactor gauge is full and the B button is pressed, this move instead becomes Devastation Beam, his iconic nearly full screen beam that deals an insane amount of damage and obliterates the shield of anyone foolish enough to try and block it. The best way to avoid this move is to jump out of the way, but this move comes out insanely fast, making it very hard to dodge. Side special is Blade Dash, the first of Fulgore's combo opener / extender specials. This move will have Fulgore rush forward, blades extended in order to deal damage. The speed, range, and power are all based on which input is used, with light input being the slowest and covering the shortest range, while heavy input is the fastest and covers the most range. This move can also be charged by holding down the B button, this allowing it to cover even more distance than it would normally. However, this move is not armored, and as a result, this is incredibly unsafe to do from a distance. Also, like Energy Bolt, this move has a shadow input as well, which can be performed by pressing quarter circle forward and pressing both A and B at the same time. This will have the move deal a lot more damage while hitting up to 5 times. Up special is Plasma Slice, which is Fulgore's recovery special. Like Ryu's Shoryuken, Plasma Slice's strength and travel distance are all dependent on how you input the move, which is also performed by inputting a Dragon Punch motion. When input with DP and A and B simultaneously, you can perform a Shadow Plasma Slice, which both hits harder and flies further than the heavy input. This is Fulgore's main combo ender, and as a result, it is designed to deal a lot of general knockback. Down special is Eye Laser, a multi-use attack that also doubles as Fulgore's second combo extending special move. By inputting down B or quarter circle backwards plus either B or A, Fulgore will fire a laser from his eyes in one of 3 directions. The light input will be aimed towards his feet, hitting only once at a close range. The medium input will have Fulgore shoot out more in front of him, on top of firing a pair of beams as opposed to one, while the heavy input will have Fulgore shoot the beam straight out in front of him, acting like that of a more powerful version of Rob's uncharged laser beam. This move also has a shadow version, which will have Fulgore fire a row of lasers out in front of him, hitting a total of 5 times. As is the case with all beam projectiles, these eye lasers have priority over almost every fireball projectile in the game, save for the fully charged versions of Samus's Charge Shot, Mewtwo's Shadow Ball, and Lucario's Aura Sphere respectively. Finally, Fulgore comes equipped with 2 separate Final Smashes, with the one you get depending on how many players are currently in the match. When the match is set to 1-on-1, Fulgore's Final Smash is the iconic Ultra combo of Killer Instinct, which is a big, flashy combo sequence designed for finishing off your opponent with style. The Final Smash begins with a rushing blade dash, which is the way Fulgore starts the combo in Killer Instinct. After unleashing a musical barrage upon your opponent, the Ultra combo concludes by launching the opponent up into the air via Plasma Slice. And once the Final Smash concludes, the Killer Instinct announcer will chime in with his traditional catchphrase. Also, when you finish off your opponent with this Final Smash, you'll get a unique spin on the announcement. When there are 3 or more players in the match, this Final Smash instead becomes Ultimate, which is a special finisher you can perform in Killer Instinct should you put in a button combination during your Ultra combo while still being on your first life bar. With this Final Smash, Fulgore will start by performing a long-range version of his forward smash, knocking back all opponents' hit as he soars up into the air. After reaching a certain height, Fulgore will charge up energy within his reactor, all before releasing a massive devastation beam that completely engulfs the opponents, dealing huge amounts of damage in the process. This move will instantly KO any opponent over 100% damage, effectively disintegrating them. And should Fulgore win the match with said Final Smash, he'll get a unique win screen featuring another line from the KI announcer.
Ultimate.
Fulgore's victory theme is the Killer Instinct main theme, namely the ending riffs of the main chorus. There's many different parts of this song that could work for a victory theme in Smash, but I feel this one sounds the best overall. Fulgore's first victory animation is based on his standard victory animation from Killer Instinct, in which he'll open up the reactor on his chest and unleash his trademark Devastation Beam. The KI announcer will also chime in with a line depending on how well you performed in the match. If you won on your last stock or by no more than 1 point in time matches, the announcer will say,
Awesome victory!
However, if you win by 2 or more stocks or 2 or more points in time matches, the announcer will instead say,
Supreme victory!
It's a nice little addition to give the player a sense of accomplishment for performing well. Fulgore's second victory animation will have Fulgore disappear via plasma ports, all while giving the same laugh he gave during his debut trailer for KI 2013. Finally, Fulgore's third victory animation will have him rush past the camera using Blade Rush, all before turning around to face it while striking a pose similar to his main artwork from KI 2013, with one arm raised and plasma blades extended. Fulgore's first taunt is his standard KI taunt, in which he'll raise an arm, extending the plasma blades on it as he mumbles something robotic and inaudible. Fulgore's second taunt is based on the way he charges his nuclear reactor, in which his eyes will light up as his chest piece opens, energy crackling and building up within the centerpiece before going back to normal. Fulgore's third taunt is based on his instinct activation, in which he'll input a few buttons on the device on his wrist before flashing the opponent an imposing glare, his eyes lighting up much like they do when instinct is active. Fulgore's colors are all based on the various colors he has in Killer Instinct 2013, with a few extra surprises sprinkled in to make him feel at home in Smash Bros. Fulgore's first color is his standard attire, featuring a mostly black body frame, red eyes, and an orange tuft of hair protruding from the top of his head. Fulgore's second color is his third color from Killer Instinct 2013, which will turn his main body frame an Arctic camo blue, while the highlights of his body are turned gold, along with the accessory on his head. Fulgore's third color is based on his fourth color from Killer Instinct 2013, which will turn Fulgore's body a snow white, as well as his plasma blades. When Fulgore opens his chest, the Ultratech logo on his reactor will instead be changed to that of a Smash Bros. Logo. Fulgore's fourth color is based on his second color from Killer Instinct 2013, which will add gold trims to various parts of his armored body while making majority of his accessories a jet black in color. Fulgore's fifth color is based on his eighth color from Killer Instinct 2013, which will make the main parts of his armor a desert camo while dyeing his highlights and accessories a variety of colors. Fulgore's sixth color is based on his terror skin from Killer Instinct 2013, which will dye all of his body a deep black while adding a bright aquamarine blue to all of his accessories, including tubes, eyes, and plasma blades. There's also an Ultratech logo on his chest. Fulgore's seventh color is based on his golden skin, an extra skin that turns Fulgore's entire body a glimmering golden color. When Fulgore opens up the reactor on his chest, the core will feature a coin from Super Mario Bros. Finally, Fulgore's 8th color is based on his 10th color from Killer Instinct 2013, a very rare color that can only be acquired by purchasing a Fulgore figurine. This will have Fulgore's armor show as a vibrant crimson red, with the reactor core on his chest having a Nintendo logo on it. Also, when Kirby absorbs Fulgore, he'll gain a replica of Fulgore's helmet, much like he does when he absorbs Samus or Captain Falcon. With this, Kirby can use Energy Bolt, although he can only use a single shot variation as he lacks the reactor gauge to add extra projectiles. And that's Fulgore for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Killer Instinct is a franchise with strong roots set on Nintendo consoles, with it even becoming one of the main selling points of the N64 prior to its launch. It's because of these grassroots that I feel as if Killer Instinct deserves to be in Smash far more than any other fighting game franchise, regardless of how popular or how big they've become. And as crazy as it sounds, Fulgore has quickly become one of my most requested characters for Smash in the time it's taken me to put this video together. I think the chances of Microsoft pushing for another character in the future is very likely, with how well Banjo was received and how much revenue and publicity that can be made off of a single character being added. And in terms of rare franchises, KI is absolutely right behind the likes of Banjo when it comes to significance and ties to Nintendo, especially considering how many different Nintendo consoles KI appeared on in its life. I want to believe that there's a chance for Fulgore, that there's a chance that Killer Instinct, in all of its craziness, could make its way to Smash Bros., but only time will tell if Nintendo shares my beliefs. If you like what you saw, feel free to like and subscribe, as there's more videos like this coming in the future. That's all from me for now, So take care and have a good one.
Supreme victory! Perfect.